So far, this recording goes pretty well for this game here of Dawn of Zeds. Let's see how the Event Stage 2 cards basically play out for me. So create single player. Let's load her up. I'll probably set that MP3 player to play something else, I think. And apparently something failed to properly script there, but oh well. Anyhow, let's just see here. Let's go for a little tractor pull. Alright, let's get to it. Now, before I begin, I'll note that something I actually plan to do at this point, at this point on, is actually lock my board. Just so I can't, move it around anymore. Because, I don't want to be doing that. But whatever, let's just get this underway. So, we have a Mountain Knight Assault to basically take care of here. And this is basically how it reads. At the beginning of this phase, we get infection if we're playing with infection rules, but we aren't. We place a new Zeds unit on a mountain track start space. That's not good. And defending units receive no train shifts. Alright, so the mountain track is basically over here, and of course the Fury is basically staying guard, but it's not looking good because we're going to have a little bit of more friend space with her right there. We'll shuffle it, and here's our new Zed unit. But she lucked out, and she got a weak Zed unit basically popping out with this guy here, so that helps out a little bit. Now, I'll note that no train shift, it wouldn't actually matter if we were basically going over to one of these namespaces, but she's not in a namespace, so it's not really gonna be a net negative to her, but whatever. We still have these guys advancing up to her, so the Zeds come to say hi to the Farmdale Furies. Alright, so hand-to-hand combat. I'll note that basically she has, of course, a strength of 6. And they have a strength of 2 plus 2 or 4. Now, I'll note by the way, when you have groups of Zeds grouped up like this, they actually move as units. So basically these guys have a strength of 4 because they're basically 2 plus 2. It's a special rule basically for the zombies where the more of them there are, the stronger they basically get, so to speak. But anyhow, they basically have a strength of 4 versus our 6. That means that we have an automatic advantage of 1. So we're going to be rolling with this column here. And let's just see how we do. Alright, I rolled a 9. So, on the human advantage side here, an 8 or 9 basically nets me 3 wounds, as well as a hit for myself, so we'll basically do this, I think. We'll basically put this wound marker over to this guy over here. And we'll eliminate this guy. Now, we still have a wound base to deal with on the Farmdale Furies, and I'll just move these guys back here. So the Farmdale Furies basically need to, roll for toughness, of course, because they can do that when they get a hit. So we'll do that. And we got 6, so they basically don't take a hit again, which is awesome, so they're basically still strong and ready to go. And that's basically it for the zombies, because, that was their movement. Alright, so, I'll note at this point, by the way, we basically have, one event action over here, so we'll get that. And now it's like basically the player action turn. So let's see here. There's that 4 strength Zed unit over here. The free one over here. I haven't moved yet. This guy's over here. They're over there. Let's see here. Now, I'll note at this point, we do have, like, you know, Mordecai over here, basically on the Lucky Strike mine. It'd probably be a good idea if I actually used him to actually get some foraging going on, because, like, you know, he's like our forager, who so basically rolls 2 dice. And if I basically have a chance basically to get, like, you know, the 4 or 5 or 6, I'll basically get ammo from it, so... Let's have Mr. Johnson do a little bit of foraging, I think, for an event action. And he rolls a couple of frees, which unfortunately don't let me anything, so we had a miss, unfortunately. I probably never did the housekeeping space for these guys over here, so we're just going to flip these back over. Alright, so I'll note, by the way, I'm actually thinking about, like, you know, softening these guys up a little bit more over here, so I may want to do that. I probably want to do it like this guy's ammo more than anything else, Deputy Smith, so maybe we'll take a turn to attack these guys over here with his initiative. So we'll use his initiative. And because we're doing gunfire attacks, we basically use it based on a score, so for those who don't recall, he has a strength of 4, so we basically use this column over here. And let's just see how we do. Alright, so I rolled a 5. 1 plus 4. A 5 on this basically nets me just a 1 hit, so that's all we managed to do to the zombies there, which is not great. They only took like 1 hit point of damage. And as such, I think we'll use my player action basically to try and hit him again, so... Let's see here. I'm actually telling him to send this guy into like melee combat actually, so I may want to do that. Just like to smoke the zombies there, but whatever. You know what, let's just do that. We're gonna basically send, like, you know, Deputy Smith basically out to, like, you know, finish these zombies off in hand to hand, so I don't waste any more ammo. So Deputy Smith charges in. So I'll note that Deputy Smith here, he basically has, like, you know, attack of 4, which is basically the same as the zombies. But because he's an Eagle Scout, he basically gets, like, an extra, like, you know, shift in his hand again, so he basically has human advantage of 1. So that's great for him. Now let's roll 2 dice for him. And I rolled a 4, which is not great. So I'll note that it is possible to, like, to lose in, like, these battles, so basically I roll a 4, so that basically means, like, you know, Deputy Smith... Oh wait, you know what? If I basically did this, by the way, like, rolling a 4, we basically have, like, you know, 3 hits to Deputy Smith and, like, 1 hit to the zombies, and we'd be forced to retreat. Instead of doing that, we do have access to martial arts with Deputy Smith, which is basically one of the reasons we're using him for martial arts, because, like, you know, we can basically re-roll our hand-to-hand combat so that, like, you know, we can get a better result. And this is a terrible result, so let's just try for a better one. So let's re-roll. I got a couple 6s, which basically means, like, he's gonna, like, you know, rip them to pieces, so... Human advantage 1, we get 4 hits with a double roll, so they're wiped out. And he takes no hits basically because, like, you know, I re-rolled the dice. So, hooray! So there goes that 9, like, you know, stack. And we're basically clear of his track finally. I still have a leadership token, so let's make use of that, I guess, over here. And these guys can just basically, like, you know, do their old like, you know, search again for ammo. We might get our 6, we'll see. We got 4, so nope. That's it for, like, you know, Sheriff Hunt's leadership. So, fairly eventful turn. We basically, like, you know, got attacked over here. These guys wiped out the zombies that attacked them. Deputy Smith basically wiped out the like, the, you know, the weakened 9 stack over here. We basically, like, you know, failed to search over there, and as well here. But, you know, it's looking pretty good. So this card is done. Alright, housekeeping phase. Flip, flip, flip. There we go. Alright, next event. Oh, it's a special event. You gotta be kidding. Alright, so this is a very dangerous, like, you know, special event that can happen. When this basically happens, your zombies basically get a lot of, like, you know, boost and, like, you know, they basically go on a rampage. So, you gotta be kidding. Zeds. All. At the beginning of this phase, place a new Zeds unit on the start space of every track, applying a stacking limit if necessary. Remove all hit marks from the Zed units, and send them forward, so to speak. Alright, so actually I have to put down 4 new zombies here, so 1. We got a 6 strength 1 over there on like the, you know, the forest track. Oh, the 9 and 1 came back over here to the Farmville Furies, so they're in trouble. On the highway track, we got a strength 4 with a strength 3 there. And we got ourselves a strength 6 over here on, like, you know, the suburbs track. Alright, so we have to remove all hit markers from the Z units. So this is one thing I like to note. You don't want to basically like leave like half-finished zombies off because, you know, they can have this happen to them. And this guy's basically at full strength again. But it's fine. This guy's just a weak, like, you know, Z unit anyway, so it's not too much of an issue if he gets a little bit stronger. It's the 9 unit that's really going to scare you over there. Alright, so now, a note that if you gotta be kidding events, basically I don't think this is like too bad in terms of like, you know, what could happen. There is like an event card that basically makes it so like, you know, these guys basically keep on advancing, but you know, I don't think it's this card here. So let's just send these guys to advance now. Now, this is basically all the tracks, so we'll do them whatever we want to. So let's just go with like, you know, the suburbs track here first. So this guy can go over here to 6 straight. Then we'll go over here to the forest track. So this guy will go up here, and this guy will go up here. Then we have, like, you know, the mountains track. So these guys go up here, and we have a battle basically occurring with, like, you know, the Farmville Furies. Now, I'll note that these guys basically have a strength of 11 versus this guy's strength of 6. So that's not quite basically, like, you know, twice the strength of the Farmville Furies, but it's enough that they basically get advantage these guys. So they're going to get a big advantage here, like, against the Farmville Furies, unfortunately. And we might see some hits going to the Farmville Furies finally. Let's see. Alright, I rolled an 11, which is good. If I roll an 11 with, like, you know, zombie advantage, you basically have, like, 1 hit go to the Farmville Furies, but, you know, 2 hits go to the zombies, so that's good. And I know who was going to take these hits, by the way, so there you go, Mr. 9. Now, of course, I do have to basically roll, basically, for, like, the Farmville Furies, so let's roll for toughness. Once. And it's a 2. So, the Farmville Furies take their first hit. They've done a good job, but, you know, the zombies are starting to, like, you know, do a little bit of damage there, unfortunately. And finally, we have to go down to, like, you know, the highway track, and these guys move, like, up here. I'm feeling fairly confident with these guys, basically, like, you know, defending, but I'm not really sure anymore at this point. Basically, these guys now have, like, you know, almost like a advantage on these guys. So, I may want to send down, like, Piazza basically help him out in a moment. We'll see. Anyhow, we get, like, 1 action here, so 1 action. And that's basically it for, like, you know, the zombie phase there. Let's see what we do. Now, I'll note at this point, I probably want to have, like, you know, Deputy Spin maybe move back here a little bit, so actually, you know what? He's actually pretty fine where he is right now. Let's see here. Let's have Deputy Smith basically fire off at, like, his gun at these guys here, I guess. Will be the plan first, so we'll basically just fire at these zombies to try and weaken them up a little bit. And I rolled a 9. Now let's move this down here. Alright, so 9, I'm basically like, you know, gunfire attack of 4 basically means 2 hits, so... we weaken those guys a little bit over there. That's okay. And let's see here. We also have zombies basically approaching over here at these guys as well, which is not great, but oh well. You know what? I think what I want to do right now, and well, I guess I just spent right there. Let's actually use Mordecai here, basically use his player action to, like, you know, roll for some more, like, you know, ammo, because it's starting to get low here a little bit. And yet again, you know, we don't unfortunately get a good roll there, but oh well. Alright, let's see here. I got one event action left, and as well as leadership. I really should actually move these guys back at this point to Final Fury so, like, you know, they can, you know, defend a little bit better, I think. That might be an idea. So, I'll note that the Final Furies can basically move back, like, you know, till 4, but... in order to basically keep defending a little bit better, I think let's move these guys back to the civilians over here. And that'll be their, like, you know, action there. Just give them a little bit better, like, defense, basically, to help them out. And then for leadership, I could use these guys to make a gunfire attack at these Zeds to weaken them up a little bit. That might be an idea. And you know what? I think we're actually going to do that right now. So, the civilians here can also basically fire people to define ones, but they basically have, like, you know, only, like, their score of, like, you know, say 3 here, so... it's not great, but whatever. We'll see how it goes. And they rolled a 4, so... yeah, net. I wasted ammo doing that, but well. Alright, so... that was a player phase basically done. Not exactly too bad. That could have been a lot worse, basically, that type of phase, because, you know, we get a lot of zombies basically being spawned all over the place, but, you know, it was not too bad. Alright, let's go to the next event card. And we have the Highway Night Assault. So, this is very similar to the Mountain Assault, but, you know, with the highway. So, at the beginning of this phase, place new Zed units on a highway unit, and no one gets basically train shift defending for himself, so that's not great, but whatever. Alright, so, these guys are going to be in trouble, but whatever. Alright, so, the attack begins. Because they got, you know, zombies trampling around, we're going to move to Defiant. And they don't get a train shift, so they only get, like, their, like, you know, well-armed defense boost here. But that's fine. So, 4 versus 7, basically they're not, you know, quite basically like double, so that's fine. And this guy basically shifts them back to 1, so it's basically like, you know, equal 2 advantage, so to speak. Let's see how it goes. Alright, they rolled an 8. So, basically when you roll an 8 here, we basically have like 1 hit applied to the civilians as well as 2 hits to the zombies, so... we'll apply 2 hits to this like 4 zombie, we'll move them back. And I'll note, by the way, at the same time here, we also have, like, you know, 1 hit basically being applied to, like, the human, so... they take a hit. Oops. Now, I'll note, by the way, this guy also has to move it, and, like, you know, just basically the zombies in front of him. So, I believe how this basically works. And this is, like, where I really need to, like, you know, go to the rulebook, basically. Basically, like, you know, the zombies in back will be able to move forward, but, you know, essentially what happens here... you basically have, like, these guys, like, making their attack here. And, like, these guys moving up there. And it doesn't really tell you what happens when there's, like, 2 zombies in the space here, unfortunately, so, Can the zombies move forward is the thing right now. Alright, so if there's no units on a track, place a new Zed unit, otherwise move a Zed unit on a track. If there's more than one Zed unit in a space, they form a Zed mob. Basically move toward the thing, blah blah. So, spaces can hold 2 Zed units. If the space the Zeds are trying to enter already has Zed units, only move forward as many units as are allowed to fit. So, actually this guy's actually stopped. You can't actually move this guy right here. So that's good to know. Alright, so basically what's happening here, these guys here like basically attacked with like their like movement, but they got like shoved back. And because of that, these guys can move forward. So now I go to the second activation over here. And these guys attack again. Alright, so we roll again. Hopefully these guys will roll as like they did before. And we got 10. Alright, so it's equal to, they roll a 10, so basically they do 3 hits and they take 1 again. Now, note by the way, the civilians only have like 4 hits, so when they basically take their second hit, they basically go to their wounded side. So that's a thing for them. And these guys over here are going to take like a wound, I think. And I guess at the same time, let's just like put this like 2-hit marker on these guys over here, and we'll force them back. And of course, this guy can't move forward, so that's fine. So, that was the mountain track assault. It could have been a lot worse, but we're still alive, so I'm happy about that. We also get an event action, so that's nice to see. So let's move this up here. And now basically it's my go. Alright, let's see what I want to do right here. I'll note at this point these guys basically have an attack of like 2 now, with like shift to 1. So I could actually try to like do like another like free attack on these guys to try to like maybe finish this guy off. And that might be worth doing. Though I'm running low on ammo, so what I really want to do right now, and I forgot to do the housekeeping space from last before, I actually want to use Mordecai, I think, to like, try and scout some more ammo if I can. So let's try and do that. I rolled a couple of 5s. Alright, now note by the way, when you roll doubles like this, you actually get to double the amount. So basically, rolling for like 4 or 5, you basically get like 1 like ammo. But because they're doubles, you have to choose the results of both of them. So we basically have 2 ammo. So that'll help out a lot. And let's just see here. Let's have these guys basically try and fire at these guys here, I think, will be the plan. So we'll do this with leadership. Whoop, that's actually my event action I want to use here. Alright, so we have 9. They're basically a strength of 2, but they move over 1 to 3 because they got the will arm. So basically get like 2 hits. And that's enough basically to flip these guys over here. So these guys are now just like, strength like of 2. And let's put the extra hit over on these guys over here to like, weaken them up a little bit, those guys. And let's just see here. I think at this point, we'll use leadership basically for these guys again. Maybe get them to fire at these like zombies here, weaken them up a little bit if I can. So we'll do that. So I got a couple 5s, so that's 10. And they're basically using their, like, free, like, strength here to basically make a gunfire attack on these, like, strength 5 zombies, so they basically get 3 hits, and that's enough to flip these guys over to, like, their weakened side. And finally, I've got, like, the initiative for, like, Deputy Smith here. And, of course, we are running out of ammo, but I do want to try to, like, weaken these guys up a little bit over here, so let's just have him make his gunfire attack, I guess, one more time to weaken these guys up. Or kill them. And I got a 9. So with gunfire attack of 4, we can see 2 hits. So these guys are now strength 3 with like 1 hit on them. And I can't recall if that was basically ammo like 2 or 3, but whatever. I think it like we use like 3 attacks at this point, like 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. So it was 5, went down to 2. That's fine, I think. All right, so that's basically it for, like, the player action phase. We basically, like, did a lot of gunfire attacks and wasted a lot of ammo, whatever. Alright, so, at this point, this card's done. We go to the next one. Alright, so, Zed Disease Quickening. At the beginning of this phase, make a fate draw. Okay, so here's where I actually have to use, like, the fate cards, by the way. Place a new Zeds unit on the start space of the fate track. During this turn, for each regular civilian unit eliminated or sent to the hospital, after its saving throw, place a new Zeds unit on a space where it is killed. Apply a stack limit if necessary. So, this is a really, really dangerous one because basically you can turn my civilians into, like, zombies, which is not great. But whatever. Let's draw our fate card first. And alright, so, where? The fewest Zed units. Alright, that's great. So basically you have to find, like, where the fewest, like, Zed units are and basically place, like, a new, like, Zed unit on a track. So, we basically have a total of 11 on this, like, mountain track. We have 5 and, like, 5 over here for 10 basically on the highway track. We have 3 basically on the suburbs track, and we have, like, 9 on basically the forest track. So basically over here we're gonna place, like, a new, like, zombie unit on the suburbs track, because basically, like, that's where the fewest, like, zombies are. And it goes on the start space, so let's do that right now. Alright, so there's now a 7 strength unit on here on the suburbs track, so that's not great, but whatever. And cool, let's just see what this does. So civilians get organized. Alright, so this is like a something I basically use for myself. So play at the beginning of any phase or before any combat to place civilian leaders or marker on a regular civilian. Unit ends up in until it ends up in a cemetery. That unit receives +1 shift in hand and gunfire attacks apparently. Alright, that's nice. So I could make these guys stronger, for example, to, like, fight off these Zeds that are going to be coming at them. That might be a good idea. And yeah, I think that might be a very good idea because, like, this is actually, like, a very dangerous track over here, so they're going to get another shift just to help them out a little bit more. Now, nobody these guys could get killed and I'll lose all the markers on there, but, I want to basically try and have them, like, hold off as much as possible these zombies, so we'll do that. Alright, so that fate card's done. Now, the highway track basically has, like, a movement, so we have to, get these guys going one more time. So, they attack again. Now, note at this point, these guys basically have a strength of 2 and these guys have a strength of 5. So, we basically have, like, again, still, like, Zed's advantage basically of, like, 2 actually at this point. So basically they have, like, advantage basically of, like, Zeds times 2. But because we have a train shift, because we have this shift, we have this shift as well. It goes 1, 2, 3, human advantage 1. So I'm rolling this track over here. And I basically have to get better than 5. I have to get, like, a 7 or better basically to, like, keep these guys in play. But that's fine. We'll see how it goes. They roll a 9. Alright, so, human advantage with a 9. They take 1 hit, and they dish out 3 to the zombies, so let's see here. We're going to throw this basically over to, like, the 2, I think. And you can go back here. You'll take a hit again. And we'll also eliminate this Zed, right here. Alright, now note by the way, because this guy got knocked back, this guy can, like, or that guy got eliminated. There's now room for this guy to move up, so he moves up here with this guy. And, like, he's now there. And they've managed to avoid getting eliminated, which is good. Alright, now, I also have the forest track to deal with, so that's the forest track over here. These guys are now going to finally attack these guys up here, so they move up here. You guys lose the define marker. And now we basically have to, like, do, like, a bit of hand-to-hand with these guys up here. So, it's hand-to-hand, and it's basically equal to. So, we roll the dice. And I got 9. And I forgot about something, by the way, but there's, of course, a train shift right here as well. So these guys actually have a human advantage of 1 as well. So, we're actually using a human advantage side here. They roll 9 to take 1 damage here, and they do 3 damage to the zombies, so these guys are eliminated. Like, they're literally killed. And these guys take a hit. And these guys also move up 1, so they move up 1. Now, this is basically a double activation track, so basically have to move these guys up again, so the attack begins with these guys. They have an advantage basically of like, times 2. So they basically have like, this column here. But of course, because train advantage, basically use this, right here, the Zed's advantage of 1. So we'll see how it goes against the bigger stack basically against them. They roll 10. Alright, so with Zed's advantage with a 10, they take 1 hit and they deal 2 damage to the zombies. So they take 2 hits and get forced back. And these guys take a hit and get down to reduced side. So that's basically the Zed's phase, basically. They didn't manage to kill any civilian units, but, they did a lot of damage. And then after our saving throw, basically, like, nothing really happens, so we have 3 actions this phase. Hooray! Alright, so it's not too great that basically these guys have been weakened so much, but oh well. We'll have to deal with it. Now, something I'm actually thinking about doing at this point, by the way, is actually using, like, Sheriff Hunt basically to attack these guys over here. And although Sheriff Hunt basically has a long range attack, by the way, so he could basically attack with like a range of, like, a power of 4 against these guys, I guess. Or actually, I guess it's like, a shift, isn't it? Yeah, he's got penalties, so yeah, still 4, by the way, that's fine. So basically, you could, like, attack with like 4 here, basically trying to, like, kill those guys. And I think that's what I want to do right now, so we'll use 1 ammo. Event action. And we're just going to use these guys to, like, fire at these zombies here. So, let's see how it goes. Ow. Unlike with the gunfire attacks, I can't re-roll that, by the way, so it's basically a 0. Nothing happened. Alright, well, that's not great. I could try again. That'll use up my ammo, though. I probably want to use up that much ammo at this point, so I forgot to, flip these over again, but whatever. Let's have more Mordecai do some more, like, scavenging, I guess, at this point. Because I really need to get more ammo. And I rolled a 5. Now, note by the way how, like, fortune works here. You basically, with, like, Mr. Mordecai here, you basically get to choose one of, like, the scavenging, like, actions here, so I can choose either 3 or 5. I choose the 5, obviously, because that basically gets me something. Now let's get, like, a single ammo this time, so we got an ammo from Mordecai there. Let's see if we can get a little bit more, I guess, so we're just going to go nuts with scavenging this time around, I think. You got 6. Now, note with 6, by the way, we do get 2 ammo, so we're up to 4. And let's just see here. That's actually, no, is that 1. Right. This guy used a player action, it's fine. Alright, so I'll notice still have 1 event action here. I'm actually probably going to fire at these guys again, I think, so let's do that. We'll fire again at those zombies with my, like, newly found ammo. And I got a 7. So, a 7 with, like, attack of 4 basically nets 2 hits, so these guys are going to take, 2 hits. And I'll go over to the other side there. So now they're basically a strength 4 unit over here, which is, like, a lot better than, like, being strength 6. And let's see here. I still have leadership. And initiative, I guess. I think I'll have, like, Deputy Smith fire at these guys again, so we'll do that with him. And I roll a 6. Alright, so I only get 1 hit on these guys, but that's enough basically to, like, hurt them, I guess. So that's okay, I guess. I still have leadership. Although at this point, by the way, I'm actually very much tempted to like move these guys away. But being this is a basic game, I don't really care too much about like the civilian units in this one, so let's just have them search again, I guess, for like, you know, a little bit more ammo. And I got nothing, so that's it for that. Alright, so that's basically it for like, you know, this like action phase of quickening. So let's just get rid of this card. And let's basically like, you know, do housekeeping. And there we go. Alright, so let's go to the next event card. And we got the Forest Night Assault. Alright, so at the beginning of this phase, place new Zed units on the forest track, so down here of course. And it's a strength 8 unit. And then we like, you know, set them up on a you know, attack run here again, so they'll go up here. These guys have a strength of advantage of 2, so basically, you know, zombie advantage of 1 on these guys over here, unfortunately. And that's not good. Alright, so Zed's advantage of 1. Basically do a total of 4 hits on these guys. And that's basically enough to kill them, honestly. Now, another way you basically have, like, you know, a civilian get killed in this game, they do have a chance to make a saving throw. So we're going to basically roll a dice. And, like, you know, hopefully these guys basically be able to, like, you know, stay alive, so to speak. And, like, you know, should be in here, I guess. Yeah, saving roll, yes. So, here we go. Wasn't much of a roll, but whatever. There's a 4. I'll note with a 4, 5, or 6, these guys will actually live, so they're not dead. But they're not in a good place either, basically. Let's see here. Does it say anything about applying hits? Yes, it does. Here we go. So, procedure for a basic game only. When a player unit suffers its last hit, roll 1 die. If 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6, basically, it's basically like, you know, these guys will live, but essentially they'll be put on the reduced side in like the town center at this point. So, these guys can be like, you know, put over here in the town center now. And that's it for them, basically. And these guys are just going to hold up basically in like, you know, St. Thomas. Now at the same time, these guys got a place so they move up at least 1. And that's basically it for the zombies over here, I guess. Alright, so that's basically it for... Oh, you know what? I made a mistake here. These guys actually didn't get train shift. Not that it really matters. They still will have got their butt whooped, but, you know, it was still Zed's advantage times 2 because, like, you know, these guys basically were, like, you know, attacking with you know, an ambush card, which basically means, like, you know, they don't have any train shifts that civilians do. So they still whooped their asses, but, you know, these guys didn't have, like, any, like, you know, problems, like, attacking them there. Alright, so I got 2 actions. Now, at this point, Sheriff Hunt doesn't have, like, any, like, you know, civilians around him, so that's not great. I may want to move up a civilian basically to help, like, you know, back him up, right? Maybe that might be a thing I want to do. Let's see here. I'll note that civilians can basically move at you know, a speed of 2. I am tempted to send, like, these civilians basically up to basically help him out, but that seems like a sort of a bit of a waste, so... What I may want to do at this point is actually have, like, Captain Piazza basically, you know, pop in, basically say hi to these guys, I think. That might be worth doing. I've got to use her, right? So I might, like, you know, use her now. Alternatively, I could actually, like, you know, just, like, keep him here, like, just doing his thing and, like, you know, wipe these guys out, so... That might be worth doing as well. Basically, like, this guy's leadership is useful, like, to, like, do stuff with, but, you know, he needs civilians basically to make use of it. And without civilians basically, it's not that useful, unfortunately, but whatever. You know, it's probably a good idea to wipe these guys out over here as well, so... I think for my first action, let's have these civilians basically fire off at, like, the zombies down here, maybe. And see if I can, like, you know, wipe them out. Or actually, you know what? He moves at a range of 4, right, this guy? What do I want to do with him? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, he won't be able to get over to like these guys and to help him out with like this leadership, unfortunately. So yeah, we're gonna have these basically guys make an attack, I think. And we're gonna try like, you know, wipe out that weakened zombie over there, I think. So we'll just try and do that. Alright, well, let's waste my ammo again, because, you know, why not? That's not useful, but oh well. Let's try and do it again. Oh, I got 11. Alright, with 11 with like, you know, strength 2 plus shift 2 here, we basically have a 4, basically. So this guy gets 3 hits. That's enough basically me to flip this guy over if I want to, so we'll do that and then, I guess. Now we just have like, you know, some weakened Zed Mobs over there for this guy to deal with. So that's basically it for my event actions, by the way. I don't have any more like ammo to make use of at this point, so that's not great, but whatever. I do have my player action at least, so I could use that for stuff. And I think we're just going to use it to have more copies to search more ammo, so let's do that right now. We got 5, so we get like, you know, an ammo. I'm tempted to have Deputy Smith basically do like, you know, attacking these guys here. I think that might be a good idea to just finish them off. So we'll do like, you know, we'll do this initiative here for this guy, basically to attack like the zombies. So we'll do that right now. And that's basically enough basically of like, you know, it's like, you know, his attack bar to kill these guys off. So those zombies are dead. Alright, well, that wasn't the greatest round, but whatever. I'm out of ammo, but we have like, you know, wiped out the zombies over here. Weakened these guys over here. There's no civilians for him to make use of, but that's fine, I guess. So, it's just what it is, what it is. Alright, so that's basically it for like the Force Knight Assault here, I guess. Alright, the next card. Right beneath our feet. At the beginning of this phase, make a fate draw. Alright, so let's do our fate draw here. Alright, so where? The mountain. Alright, so select any civilian or hero unit on the fate track, but not in the town center or at the start space. It immediately suffers a Zed's hand-to-hand attack on the equal to column, with normal, increased, terrain shifts, etc. If it was a defiant civilian unit, it's no longer defiant. Alright, so a note by the way that this basically means like, you know, a civilian or hero basically takes an attack over here. So I guess I'll have the Farmingdale Furies get attacked because, like, you know, actually, you know what? This is an equal to thing, right? In this case, it'd probably be a better idea to have like the civilians get attacked, I think. So these guys basically have like, you know, a strength of 2, but because basically it's a hand-to-hand with like equal to, it doesn't really matter if they're attacked or not. So we're just gonna do a train shift to these guys and see how it goes. So equal 2 will be like, you know, here to have like, you know, advantage of 1, and that's what I'm rolling for. They got 9, so they take a hit. And your unit suffers losses only and does not retreat. So basically, like, you know, we're gonna take a hit, and it's gonna be flipped over to his like weakened side. But that's basically all that's gonna happen to him. So that's what this is a very interesting event because basically it means like, you know, he's gonna take some hits there, but you know, it's not gonna be like, you know, too bad like or like the movement for these guys here. So that's fine. Alright, so what is this here? Community Organizer. Play during the action phase to place a new available regular or heroic civilian unit of your choice in the town center. That's nice. We'll get to that in a moment, but we'll basically, like, you know, be able to bring these guys in now. Alright, so I have to make movement on the highway, the suburbs, and the mountain track here, so that'll be fun. We'll go to the highway first, I guess, so these guys will attack. They have a advantage basically of, like, you know, 3 to 2, so they're basically, like, you know, are using, like, the Zed's advantage column here. But because this guy has, like, you know, train shift and, like, these shifts as well, it goes equal to human advantage and human advantage of 2, so I have to roll better than, like, you know, 7, I guess, for these guys not to take any hits and die. But we'll see how it goes. I rolled a 5, not great. So, human advantage 2. They still take a hit, but they deal 2 damage to these zombies here, I guess, so that's enough to eliminate these guys here. And now these guys have to make a saving throw. Am I going to lose my, like, you know, well-armed leadership civilians? We'll see. No. Alright, now note that these guys don't actually get killed, so what happens to them is that basically they get moved back over here to, like, you know, town center with all their, like, you know, benefits. And this guy just takes a space. Alright, now, this track is basically open to be attacked, unfortunately, but, you know, it's just a weak strength 1 unit, so it's not too bad. At least. Alright, suburbs track is next. Luckily, I eliminated these guys over here, so these guys just move up here. We don't have to worry about him being attacked. And the mountain track. Alright, so these guys move up here. Luckily, like, you know, I moved these guys back so they don't get attacked, but, you know, it's not looking too great with them. Alright, so that's it for the Zeds phase. Right then, so I get to place a heroic civilian or regular civilian unit of my choice in the town center. So, here are the VFW Local 12. They are now in play. So, the VF Local 12. Let's just read about them, because, like, you know, why not? You won't get to see me do this, you know, before, I guess. So, these guys have the Iron and Ready ability. The unit's first gunfire attack each turn costs 0 ammo. So, basically, like, this guy can, like, fire without ammo. And he basically ignores, like, retreats. So, this guy always forces the, like, you know, enemy to retreat, even if he, like, you know, takes too much damage. So that's the nice thing about him. And here's his, like, background. Until the National Guard arrives, the beleaguered people of Farmingdale can count on the fighting skills of their very own VFW Local 12. They may not be as spry as they once were, but with rifles in hand and Zeds in their sights, they can do what counts when it matters. These veterans of overseas conflicts now find their knowledge and skills to supreme use in their own backyards in ways they never could have imagined. They're certainly not going to let the undead destroy the world or they've created. Their sacred honor demands they hold fast and never retreat, and this is how they would prefer to end their lives, like Spartans dying in honor, and glory, defending their homes and families. Armed and ready and possessing as a group many years of combat experience, the proven heroes of the local VFW are an example to all, stiffening the backbone of civilians for whom warfare is only something they've seen in television and at movie theaters. So that's those guys right there, by the way. And that's basically for his card here. Alright, now, I get 2 player actions here. And let's just see how it goes. Let's see here. I really don't like these guys being so close to, like, you know, to, like, you know, the town center over in this direction, I think. But I can't use this guy to attack, unfortunately, so I think what's going to happen right now, I'm going to have, like, Mordecai, of course, do his, like, you know, usual, like, you know, bit here of, like, you know, scavenging for ammo, I guess. So let's do it right now. I got 6, so 2 ammo. Now let's just see here. I think at this point, I'm gonna have Sheriff Hunt basically try and kill these guys off right here. So we'll do that right now. He's of course got his gunfire attack of like, 5, I guess. Because he's like, right on top of him right now, so that's fine. So we're gonna basically use like, attack of 5 basically on these guys and try and finish them off. And we got 9. So 3 hits, that's enough basically to flip these guys over. They're already dead, so it doesn't really matter, so they're just killed outright. So that's it for those zombies there. Now, one thing about doing with like, Sheriff Hunt is moving like right back to like, basically help defend basically if he needs to. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll do that. He's gonna move back here, I think, Sheriff Hunt. Just so he can like start orienting civilians around and such. And let's see here. I think with the like, civilians that are in town here, let's move like, the VF like local maybe down over to like, Route 1 here with his leadership. And by the way, you can actually move around like both heroic civilians and like the like, regular civilians with like his leadership, so we'll do that with like those guys there. And then we got this guy's initiative here to deal with as well, right? So we'll flip this over and have this guy basically make it like, a gunfire attack against these zombies here, I guess. So let's just see how it goes. And I roll 7. Alright, so with strength of 4 and a 7, we get 2 hits on these zombies here, so they're a little bit weakened. We're out of ammo again as well as event actions, but whatever. At least we spent all our stuff this time around. So at this point, we're done with this card. And now it's the Stubborn Night Assault, because why not? There has to be one for each track, right? So, at the beginning of this phase, place like a Zed unit on the Stubborn track, obviously. So we now have like this guy here. Now unfortunately, because like this guy's like, doing this assault, we don't get train shifts again, so poor Deputy Smith's gotta like fight against these guys without a train shift, unfortunately. So, we'll see how this basically goes. Hand-to-hand combat, Zed's advantage, basically. So, we'll see how it goes. Oh wait, it's not Zed's advantage, is it? Deputy Smith here is, of course, good at melee, right? So, it says equal to. Alright, well. That's a, nice thing. And I rolled an 8. So, with equal to and an 8, I basically have, like, 1 hit to myself and 2 hits to the zombies, so these guys go to strength 5, move over here. These guys are going to move up in a moment anyways. Now, can I possibly negate the hit on Deputy Smith here? Because, he of course basically has, like, tough. So let's see if his toughness pays off or not. And it did, so no hits to Deputy Smith yet, which is great. Alright, so that's all that basically happens with the Stubborn Assault, so we get 2 event actions. And let's just see here. I think one of those actions will be used basically to move these guys maybe up over here. I might want to do that. So I could probably do a lot better if I use leadership to do that, maybe, so let's use one event action here and move this guy down to, Route 2 here. That's basically 3 spots away from, like, town center, but it's fine. Use this leadership basically move this guy over here. I forgot to flip these guys over again, but it's fine. Just flip it now. And now we're basically like using these guys to defend a nuclear power plant, which is like, a lot better than like, this random place right there. Let's use my player action, of course, to like, search for more ammo. So we'll do that if I can. I really need the ammo, of course, for this game, right? So I should be doing this like every turn for the most part. And I got nil. Right then, let's try that again with an event action. We got 6, so 2 ammo. Alright, well. I still have initiative basically for Deputy Smith here, I guess, so... Do I want to possibly fire at these guys to try and weaken them off, I guess, is a thing, right? I could also possibly want to weaken these guys up as well. But, having like a 1, basically, they have like, get really, really good, gunshots, basically kill anything over there. This might be stupid, but I'm gonna have Deputy Smith basically fire at these guys here with his ammo and initiative. And we're gonna try and like just weaken off these guys that are right here to, weaken zombies. Okay, got an 8. So basically with an 8 he gets like 2 hits. That's enough to kill off these zombies here. So they're out of the way. And that's basically it for my go there. So, housekeeping phase, let's just flip these back over. And just going to go back over here. And now we basically like go to the next event card, of course. Alright, now we're going to get to like the stage 3 stuff here. So I think at this point we'll basically call it quits for like this episode. It's a fairly like, eventful episode where basically, zombies got spawned all over the place, but we like, pushed them back quite, thoroughly. I haven't lost anyone yet, which is very, very awesome. And, well, my ammo's basically nearly dead, but whatever. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good going of it. So let's just save the game. And, I'm not really sure there's any point to, like, running anything here, because I basically can't see anything here, but whatever. Whatever! And there's, like, whatever right there. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode. I'll see you guys in the next one, but for now, take care.